Hello, everyone. It's Tuesday night at a little after 8. It was a little slow connecting tonight. Um, but if you're on, give me a shout out. Let me know that you're here. I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping. First thing I want to talk about is World Card Making Day is coming up on October 4th. And Stamping Up has a special kit and an event happening that day that you can participate. So when you're on my website or you're shopping on Stamping Up, you can look up World Card Making Day and it will show you the kit. It's a cute kit. It comes with a little organizer, if you will, I guess, and then all the different cards that you'll be able to make. So make sure you're checking that out. Hey, Carol Deegan, good to see you. I cannot see comments, so my husband is going to tell me who's here. I still have not figured out why they have hidden the comments from me, but not only that, I wouldn't be able to see them anyway. So, there's that problem still existing as well. Hey, Melinda, good to see you. So make sure you check out World Card Making Day and the kit that you can get through Stampin' Up! To participate in that event, or you can just watch along. It's a free event. You do just want to register, so you make sure you get all the information from it. So make sure you're taking care of that. Of course, the new, I call it the holiday mini catalog. I know it's the September through December catalog is available. And if you don't have a demonstrator or you're local to me and you haven't gotten yours yet, there's some in the tote on my porch for pickup, or reach out to me and we can see what we can do about getting you a catalog. Lots of fun stuff in there for fall and winter and the holiday season. So make sure you're checking that out as well. All right, so tonight we're going to do September's Just Cards. They haven't even made it into my newsletter yet. They'll be in there on Friday. But I wanted to share them with you tonight. And I just wanted to give you a reminder, this is what we did last night. This is my Christmas pop-up class this month. So you get the supplies to make 2 of each of these cute cards featuring the Jar of Joy stamp set and the coordinating builder punch for the jar. You'll also get a full roll of the red twines. You're going to get a full roll of the new traditional, I think these are what, traditional sparkling sequins. I just happen to have that laying here beside me. So you get a full package of that. You're going to get a sanding blocks that allows you to create that fun background after we've embossed it for you with the timeless plaid. You're going to get a sheet of dimensionals, and you're going to get a half a package of basic rhinestones. It's $30. The registration was on last night's link, so you can check there for it, or I'll try to drop it in the comments after we're done here. And Sunday night, God willing, everything is touch and go right now. My site is no better, sadly. So I'm not sure if I'll be live Sunday night, but if I am, we're also going to do this month's Creativity Delivered, which is with the Charming Day bundle. So that's a really, really pretty one as well. Hey, Debbie and Betty and Jerry. Hi, Jerry. All right, so let's start with our first card. For some reason, I have been getting lots of requests for anniversary cards. So I'm going to do an anniversary card in Just Cards this month. It's a really quick and easy one, as most of my Just Cards are. If you're new to card making, this is a great class for you, because you get it for free with a minimum $45 product purchase. That is after any discounts. It has to reach $45 or reward points or whatever. If you're long distance, we do ask for $5 to help with the postage. But they're really quick and simple, and you just need a greeting. So you don't even have to use the greetings that I have. Obviously, we cannot stamp for you. So you do need stamps, ink, and adhesive. But they are not hard cards at all, and it helps you add to your inventory, right? All right. So I did a die cut with the branch out dies. I'm looking for my adhesive, which seems to have wandered off. And not only that, it's red, so we'll see how far we get. But I'm just going to put some adhesive behind here. And then I embossed with the Timeless Plaid. Apparently that's my new favorite embossing folder. And I'm going to mount this pretty piece of designer paper to the back. And then we're going to mount that on a layer of Blueberry Bushel. That is not a color I reach for a lot. Do you guys use a lot of Blueberry Bushel? I like the color. It's just not one that I reach for all the time. and I pulled my light and camera stand very far forward tonight to try to stay in an area that I can actually be in camera, but also see to create. So we'll see how this works out tonight. And then this is just going on a base of fresh freesia. I use the perennial postage dies for the label. They get ignored, I think. So, and then the happy anniversary. Hopefully I'm in camera. That's going to get mounted onto our rectangle of blueberry bushel. That I'm not sure is straight. Yeah, a little better to me. Do you use blueberry bushel a lot? Awesome. Yeah, I don't. I don't reach for it as much as I probably should, but I do like it. I do like it. I got to grab some dimensionals out of the drawer. And then this is just going to get popped up in the center. Now the happy anniversary stamp, and this stamp set's been around for a while, Layers of Beauty. This is one that has masks with it as well as dies. So that's the happy anniversary that we have available right now. I didn't really find, and if you guys know of one, please let me know. That's current, because I try to only show you stuff that you can get if you fall in love with it. That would be mean of me otherwise, right? But I couldn't find an inside greeting for this card, so I figured it's just something that the giver will complete the inside of the card with their own thoughts, right? Betty, thank you for the birthday card, by the way. She knows I'm a purple lover. I had it here. I don't know what I did with it. I was going to show it. It came today, so thank you very much. And just like that, we're going to put a piece of basic white on the inside for the giver to write their message on. But that's how quick that card is done. So if you're earning this class, you can also purchase it outright for $20 plus the postage. But if you're earning the class, well, either way, if you're earning or purchasing, we do all the die cutting and embossing. We just don't do the stamping, as I said previously. Okay. All right. So there we go. There is a pretty happy anniversary card, and my husband just slid the birthday card over here. So let me show you that. How pretty is that? She knows I'm a purple lover. That's very pretty. So thank you very much. All right. Moving on to our next project. Staying with some floral imagery, right? But this is done with the designer series paper, as was the flowers on the last one. I love our designer series paper for those reasons. Okay, so we are going to put lovely garden paper. We're going to hide these flowers. We're going to use the garden green. And of course, there is a PDF that comes with this class. It gets emailed to you. This is available to earn or purchase through the end of September. So it doesn't come out, nor do the kits come out until the beginning of the following month. So the beginning of October in this particular case. And then we have a piece. I know they're not sunflowers, but the colors remind me of sunflowers. More dimensionals. Okay, where is the strangest place you have found a dimensional backing? Because, I have this really cute little thing that I got at a retreat that I actually was the attendee at, that you're supposed to put all your little papers in there, and then I never remember to use it. So then they're always, finding their ways elsewhere besides just my table. But I'm curious, where's the strangest place you've ever found a dimensional backing? All right, I have captured those. Put them in the little jar or whatever this thing is called. Let's make sure we get this turned the correct direction. Looks like we're good. Put it down like that.
Very seems very pretty. Driveway.
Your driveway. Okay. That's your bra. Yes, Melinda, I'm right there with you. Hey, Jeannie Train. Yep, I have found them in my bra. We have also found them cleaning out the cat boxes.
Refrigerator.
Inside the refrigerator? That is a unique place. Okay, there's my happy birthday. Happy birthday is from Simply Said, which I love that set. It covers so many occasions in one stamp set. I have to pull that closer. Sorry, guys. And even then, I'm not sure. In bed? Okay. Yep. I had a class here once, and now I can't remember. But I found one somewhere, and I'm like, now how in heaven's name did we manage to get one of those there? Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Okay, so I am using the low profile sparkle dots, and they have the I think it's Mossy Meadow and then the Lemon Lolly, and we're going to use some of the Lemon Lolly on this card. That's not where I wanted it. So when you only have sight in one eye, your peripheral vision is a challenge sometimes. There we go. All right. Let me put those away. Otherwise, they end up buried on my table, and then I have no idea what I've done with them. So we all agree we find dimensional backings in the weirdest places, right? I know. And then I ran out of blocks today because I've got Club Packed. My Just Cards class for last month was today. So I haven't unpacked those yet. And so I had to resort to some of my bigger blocks. I need Garden Green. I'm not sure that's here. Let me look real quick. Nope, it is not. And the better part is I'm not even sure where it is. It's got to be in one of those kits. Thank you. It was in one of the other kits. So we're going to use Garden Green on the inside just for a little bit more color. I used Pecan Pie on the front so as not to detract from that pretty Desire Series paper. Time to Celebrate is from the Beautiful Butterflies stamp set. Never mind. We're good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so there we go. There is that project. Now pay close attention because at the end there's a test. All right. My fingers really are not even working anymore. How about a pretty autumn autumn project. And that is from one of the new designer series papers for fall. I think it is in the Gathering Together paper, I believe. We did a little bark embossing. This is one of the die cuts from Textured Notes. And I went with Timid Tiger. The design, oh, well, that's not good. The designer paper package says it's Timid Tiger. So instead of pumpkin pie, which I would have normally gone with, I went with the Timid Tiger. I'm going to see if I can pull another piece. I don't know what was on my bed folder there, but something was. Make sure this is 5.5. Not quite. And then score it at 4.25. I've told you guys my tricks when I'm creating cards, right? When you cut your base, when you cut your 8.5 by 11, if it's going to be this fold or this fold, right? Score it at 4.25, the whole sheet at 4.25, and then cut it in half at 5.5, and you have 2 card bases ready to go. And I am looking. There it is. I'm like, I have an embossed piece here. So I embossed this with the bark embossing folder. That's going to go on our card front. It's almost too hard to tell which side is embossed on this one. I think I've got it. And again, because it is embossed with a 3D embossing folder, I went with little short strokes of adhesive rather than running the length either at the ends or across the sides, simply because that will hopefully protect it from tearing the paper. And then here's our pretty pattern, a nice neutral beige pattern on the back or crumb cake. Bring this in so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. And again, most of my Just Cards allow the designer paper to do all the work for us, right? You're not doing a whole lot of stamping. I designed these so you can do them at home with whatever you might have there as far as greetings go. That way, if I'm using a fancy stamp and I'm stamping everything, well, you may not have that and wouldn't be able to necessarily achieve the effect that I did. So we keep it to designer paper, embossing, and die cutting. And in this case, I'm going to run this piece of ribbon around the inside layer because it's so pretty. And then I'm just going to go over the ends to make sure that they don't release. You can put a piece of Scotch tape over this. You can use a piece of tear and tape and just not pull off the backing on the one side. This ribbon is the Mossy Meadow and Gold ribbon. One side I think is a little greener, and then the other side to me looks a little more gold. This is going to go on the inside. And you could turn this into a birthday card. You could turn this into a Thanksgiving card. Whatever you need. Could even make it an anniversary card if you are in need of multiple anniversary cards, right? Now that doesn't look straight to me, but I'll bet it is. So we're going to leave it alone. And then again, Textured Notes. I love those dies. Oh my goodness. I'll be so sad when the time comes for them to retire. We're going to grab some Mossy Meadow ink. And we're going to hope that we get this somewhat centered. It's not terrible. And I actually don't believe I did anything with dimensionals on this card, which is highly unusual for me. And I think the pattern in the die cut gives us enough differentiation that we can get away with the very vanilla on very vanilla. What do you think? And then we're going to bring in some of the new streaked dots. These are in that new mini catalog. And I'm going to put one down here. Oops. I don't know where it went. So two small and one large. And we've got our triangular positioning going, which is more pleasing to the eye. Oh, thanks, Debbie. Yeah, I like that one. But then I'm a huge fall freak. Like I'm so excited for fall and all the pretty colors and there we go. So a little bit different putting the ribbon on the inside, but it makes a great little accent and it's nice and thin and flat. So it's not making any kind of a lump or a bump in your card. I found the dot, it's on my finger. Like I'm running against something. Let me put that somewhere safe so I can recapture it later. There we go. And I love all the textures in there, the texture around the die and then the bark embossing behind. So, okay. So that was project number 3 already. How about that? Like I said, these are quick and easy cards. And then this is a birthday card that I think you could use for female or male. Again, very simple, a little bit of a fun fold. So it gives it a little bit of interest. And Cloud Cover and Secret Sea, 2 of the 2025, 2027 in colors. Okay. And then we're going to build up the front before we put our inside piece in. So this is more of the pretty floral. I think this is Floral Blooms. She just put the adhesive on the wrong side. So we're going to pretend I put that on there. And we'll go ahead and build this. And I will try to grab that paper and cut another piece here quick. Again, I use the brick, exposed brick embossing folder. This one's giving me a bit of a fit because that doesn't even look right. We're going to make it work though. There we go. And then I use the modern oval punch. And the greeting on here, I haven't used this greeting before. It is from the Coneflower stamp set. Secret Sea ink. And that's going to go on with dimensionals. The cool thing about this fold is you don't waste anything. So when I cut that to create the front flap, if you will, the piece that I cut off, I turned horizontally and that became our flap. That's going to go on like that. We're going to see if I can find that paper real quick. And it's right here. See if I can cut us another piece of that so we can finish the card. And we'll see how good my memory is. Oh, sorry. Banging everything around. Now, right side to put the adhesive on. It's so pretty. You don't really want to cover that up, right? There we go. Now this is only going to get adhesive. Some papers just tear easier than others. Just a little bit of adhesive on that left side. And ideally spaced. Bring in our inside piece. So a little trick, and you'll start seeing that in more of my kits and classes, with the increase in basic white cardstock, which a lot of us use to line the inside of our envelopes to stamp our greeting on, is to reduce the size. And in some cases, I will put a layer of cardstock behind it and then just mount it into the back. Here I put the larger piece of cloud cover. And so now I'm just going to line this up on the flap because I don't want you to see it from the front, right? I want it to be hidden. So I'm going to line it up inside of the flap. And I think I did this maybe with one of the pop-up cards too. And I'm going to close it and give it a little bit of a rub. And then it should be straight and it should be hidden. So it's a surprise when the recipient opens it. And this has a in color Secrecy large dot on it, but I don't have those near me, so I'll add that later. But there you go. How cute is that fun flap? All right, we have one more. Can you believe it? Just one. As I said, these don't take long. All the work is done. You just stamp and put together, right? How about a Christmas card? They're going to be popping up more and more as we move forward into this season. And I'm loving this beautiful paper. What is this paper? This one is, hold on. This one is Elegant Pine Snowflakes. This is one of the prettiest patterns in the kit, in my opinion. Or in the package, I should say, not the kit. Oh, look, see? Red. Yeah, we're done. We're not going any farther with that. But I have gotten smart. I always have a refill sitting beside me. And I haven't reminded you lately, so here's your reminder. Always pull off all the adhesive, the goop, if you will. And mine do get goopy because I'm not the only one that uses them. But always pull that off around the nose. Sometimes if you have a large amount gathering there, that's one of the reasons the tape will kind of start to pull and then you can't rewind it because it's catching on the goop as you're using it. So we're going to go like this. No, we're not. I did cut the label out of the center of the cherry cobbler. Again, cardstock saving trick, right? And then this goes on our card front. That side's even really pretty though. That's pretty peacocked with some snowflakes, pine snowflakes on it. And then that's gonna go right in the center. And I used the 2 label dies in the die set. This is another one of those where I really loved the dies and I knew we could use the doves separately. I'm looking to see if I have those handy. Yes, this is the Peace on Earth dies. And it has a stamp set that bundles with it, but I just got the dies. Because truthfully, that's one of the bigger ones cut out. And then this is the one that we're going to use on the card. The labels are great. You've got the greenery standalone by itself and these cute little snowflake stars, whatever you want them to be. So yeah, so I didn't buy the stamp set with this one. Now, most times when I do that, I end up regretting it because I end up going back and buying it. But I'm trying to have more product to share with you. So I went just with the dies this time. Okay, so we're going to grab traditional labels. This is a great greeting set for Christmas and the holidays, right? You also have a little to from in there if you're doing tags. How many make their own tags? I had several ladies here today talking about making their Christmas tags. It's kind of like a leap of faith right now when I stand up. If it's gonna be straight or crooked or centered. Okay. That might be a challenge. I might have dropped that too low. I think it worked. Not quite as centered as I would like it. You make some of your own? I used to. And then my husband started printing them and never used them. So I went, never mind. I'm not going to make tags if we're not going to use them. He prints all of ours on the computer now. I'm going to put the dub up with just one dimensional in the center back. Let's make sure I know which is the back. There we go. This is a very detailed dove. And you can see all the cuts in the feathers and the wings and the tail. You could even put a tiny dot if you wanted an eye on your dove. And then I'm bringing back those cherry cobbler and pearl berries from last year that were so popular. They are currently in stock. Don't wait. Don't delay. I have no idea if the intention is to carry them for the full holiday season or sell out what they got towards the end of last season. So if you want them, if you want more of them, if you don't want to run out of them, I recommend you order them now before it's really heavy into Christmas card making season or Christmas project making season, because these are great on 3D projects as well. And then I think, no, I thought I used cherry cobbler. Nope, I did not. I stayed the same. I stayed the same. Shaded spruce. My fingers are not working. Okay, so I know I have to stamp this on something else first because I know I did not get this label. I should not be labeling stamps right now. So it slants down. I have to remember to tell my customers that use this if they're here for a class that stamp it. So I'm going to go this way and hope that it was enough. That's not too bad. Considering the label's crooked on the stamp, I will take that. And that says, may the magic of Christmas fill each corner of your home and heart. And I don't know which stamp set that came out of, but one of the new greetings. I think it's this one. The words for the season stamp set. Okay. So there are the 5 discards for this month. Again, they are free with a minimum $45 product order. You get all the supplies to make the cards, one of each, plus envelopes. Whoops, we don't need 2 of those in here. Let's bring this guy in and this guy in. You get a baggie with your embellishments in. You'll get the ribbon that you need, all of that for the class. And the link to order on my website is below if you are so inclined and would like to get the class. If you're long distance, as I said, we just asked for $5 to help cover mailing costs, which again just went up again. Just everything just keeps going up, right? All right, guys, what do you think? Which one was your favorite? Did you have a favorite one? Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. We are playing it day by day, so I'm hoping that things will improve by Sunday, and I'll be able to be live with you Sunday night, and I'll be sharing my Creativity Delivered class for this month. So you want to tune in for that. That is being done with the Charming Day product line, which is so, so pretty. Probably the sunflower. You like that one the best? This guy. Yeah, and that's just the paper. I mean, these are quick and easy, just labels. You got everything else you need to put them together. All right, hey everybody, thanks again. Make sure you watch my Facebook page for any announcements about changes to the live schedule. I do try to post theirs when I know what's happening. And otherwise, we'll plan to be live Sunday night here at 8 o'clock, right here on my YouTube channel. You like the Christmas one? Yeah, I like that one too. There you go. Got a couple votes for Christmas. All right. Have a great rest of your night and a great rest of your week. And hopefully I'll see you Sunday night at 8. Thanks. Bye.